will be
All right,
wonderful.
there we go. What is going on? You are watching and, of course, listening to Tags Live, aka Talk About Gay Sex, the live edition. We're here every Wednesday night, now on the Crowdcast platform. This is episode 466. I am your host, Stevie, alongside my partner in crime, Kodi Maurice Doggette, co-host. How you doing?
Hello, darling. I'm doing wonderful. My boyfriend's in the room. Oh, my goodness. I don't know what to do.
I love it. As you just mentioned, Joe Lepore is going to be joining us a little bit later in the episode, and we got a lot to break down with him. He's got a brand new book, Son of a Cop. Yeah. He's got an Instagram account that's so sexy, Gays with Chains. And we're going to be talking all things related to you, Kodi, plus a fun game, too. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, me?
Absolutely, yes. But before we get to that, I am so excited because today we are kicking off our Pride promo giveaway. That's right, TAGSPodcast Pride promo giveaway, sponsored by Adam's Toy Box. And it goes from today when this show drops through Gay Pride, which is June 25th here in New York, as well as San Francisco. And during that time, you have a chance. We have got two things. You have a chance to win a huge basket, like a nice basket size of merch, but merch from Tags Podcast. But you're also going to get a toy from Adam's Toy Box. And we're picking two winners. All we ask is that you fill out our survey that we just put together. Our survey is meant to get to know you guys a little bit more. And when you get to the question, your favorite thing about us and the thing that could be most improved, we really want you to take it seriously. Yes. It will only help us out. So really be honest with that. It's not that long of a questionnaire. It's going to help us with improving the show, but it's also going to help us with our sponsorships as well. So take a look at that. The best way to take and enter the contest is to go to TAGSPodcast.com, and you'll see it at the very top of the page. Any page you go to, you can enter and get our survey. I'm going to put it in the comment section right now for those watching us live to fill out. So please take that. Additionally, our partner, Adam's Toy Box and Tags Podcast, are partnering, and the entire time that we're doing this, you all will get 25% off everything on adamstoybox.com. I was on there earlier, and they've got your cock rings for you for this Pride season, all of your lubes that you're looking for, jerk off toys, everything you would ever want sex toy wise, they have got, and they ship internationally within the States. And for this time period through June 25th, you're going to get 25% off. All you have to do is enter our promo code TAGS25 at checkout.
That's a lot.
TAGS25 at checkout, and you will get 25% off. Simply go to adamstoybox.com. So two things. Fill out our survey, help us out. You'll be entered to win our prize, two prizes, huge giveaway, and then also visit adamstoybox.com and get 25% off. Use our promo code TAGS25 and enjoy as we get close to the Pride season. So absolutely, super excited.
I'm going to stock up. I cannot wait. And, our listeners love a nice basket. So you're doing it right.
And, lube is really expensive.
Oh, my gosh.
So if you can get 25% off, do this. It's really great. We are live. Blake says hi, as well as many other people. We're going to get to it. We got to get to these hot topics before our special guest comes out. Starting out with Janelle Monae has a brand new song and video called Lipstick Lover. I'm calling it Lover, but it's Lover. And it's really sexy. I know you watched the video too. Yes. You guys got to check it out. It's really sex positive. She looks amazing. I really love the song. There's a guy, and if you would blink if you didn't see it, because it features a lot of women in there throughout the entire 3/4 of the music video. But towards the end, there are two guys that look luscious, and they are making out at the end. What happened was one of the guys that's featured in the video wasn't out to his family. Ooh. And somebody sent them the family the video, quote, "My parents, who I'm not even out to yet, just saw it, my little cameo in Janelle Monae's video where I'm kissing a boy. Y'all pray for me. It's about to be a long road ahead," he tweeted. And he followed up, too, that they said he was selfish. That was their first reaction.
Oh, that's really sad.
Yeah. Emmanuel, the man in question, he's 24, based in Los Angeles. He works in HR in the tech industry, and he's a certified personal trainer. And on Twitter, like I said, he got an anonymous tip sent him, the parents, this video, or the family, mind you. And I think what's really cool about this, Kodi, is that not only did gay Twitter support him and say, "You're going to be okay, we got you," which often you don't get that on Twitter that much, but Janelle Monae also saw the tweet.
Oh, yeah.
And, I've been in music videos before, like Madonna, and Madonna didn't tweet me back. We didn't have Twitter back then. But
I say you tweet her now, because she'll
weird.
respond back. I got you.
I think that's really cool that Janelle saw that and said, "I got you, boo, and I got your back, too."
Aww.
So what did you think when you saw this, and what do you think of the music video?
I love the music video so much. It's so queer. It's so lady on lady. It's so amazing. And she is just living it in her sexual body, and she's feeling her oats right now. And I am here for all of it. I saw the video before, and I didn't even notice any men. There's so many ladies in here, and I was feeling it. But then when I had to rewatch it, when you sent me the story, I was like, there are men in there. And I looked at it, and there are indeed more men in there. I think that's probably the first time I've ever said that in my life. I didn't see any of the men, but
well, it's so female centric.
It is,
which I love, and
I'm here for that.
Yeah. I was talking to you in our meeting that it reminds me a little bit, totally different. Janelle's her own being. We haven't seen her really she's been hinting with songs here and there, but you were saying in the meeting that she always has a certain, like a fashion mogul moment.
She's more covered up, and she is very structured. Black and white is her thing. But not in this video. She is letting it. She is showing it for the world.
Girl has a body.
Oh my God, isn't she gorgeous?
Gorgeous. It was reminiscent a little bit of the Janet album in the early 90s, when Janet went from Rhythm Nation, all covered up, militaristic, and then switched over to the cover with her boy at the time.
Oh,
holding her boobs, and then it was a total. Yeah, and people had to digest a new Janet practically. So I love it. I'm here for it. Janelle's doing it her way, and I'm here for it. And yes, if you blink, you'll miss the two guys making out at the end. But apparently the guy in question, his family saw it, and I think that's a good way to come out, because
I don't know.
How are you going to be mad at Janelle Monae? Like, that's a way to come out. They might have a minute to digest this, but he is in a major music video with, is she an Academy Award nominee as well? I mean, she's like big.
She's huge. She's been in so many movies. She's doing a damn thing.
Grammy nominated. I mean, it's just,
oh yes,
she's all across the board, and that's the way to do it.
I agree.
You're going to surprise the family.
Yeah. You know what though? I kind of feel his pain. I haven't been in a Grammy-nominated artist music video. However, when I went to the Pride Parade in Virginia Beach Pride Parade, my picture came out in the local newspaper, and my aunt saw it, and she called all my entire family and told everybody about it. I was already out to my mother and my sister at that point, but I wasn't out to my extended family. So I kind of feel his pain. It's not good to be outed in this fashion. But honestly, if he kind of foresaw this, then I would think that he would warn them in advance, because he's kissing a man on television. You need to tell your family.
I'm like you and him in that I had the same thing. I was posing for calendars in my early 20s. I was doing all kinds of pictures that came out, mostly in the gay press, but somebody could have grabbed it and they wouldn't have emailed it or texted it. I would have had to hold it up, put it in an envelope, walked over to the local mailbox, put a stamp on it, checked and see wherever they were sending it, if there was the right stamp, and then mailed it.
Get the zip code right.
Zip code right, but they could have done that. I did have somebody, I told this story, I'm not even going to, like, it happened in my work, in the radio station I worked at. Somebody did call the radio station and try and out me that way and call my dad. Ooh. And so I do, like your point, feel his pain. And yeah, we are live though, and in front of a virtual audience. Doug says, I was outed at 18.
That's horrible.
Wow. I would love to learn more about that. And, you know, soon in this platform on Wednesdays, we're going to start bringing people up to tell their stories on the show. Hang out, Doug, at some point, because we will invite you to the stage if you want to. And
get ready, girl.
Yeah, but I thought that's
get the stories ready.
Brand new segment that I want to introduce that I think is going to be a lot of fun to hear from you guys and prove that we are in front of a live virtual audience. Most people listen to this on the turnaround. We've got to mention Kim Petras, who's been killing it. All of you know Kim Petras. She's a transgender pop artist. Her Unholy song with Sam Smith was amazing. And now she's one of the cover models of Sports Illustrated. And she made headlines yesterday when the annual Swimsuit issue revealed her.
Yep.
As well as
Lena Bloom.
Lena Bloom, who's been on the cover before, who's also transgender.
Yeah.
And very cool that she's hitting the charts with Sam Smith, and now this. She has an upcoming album that's about to drop soon. She has a duet track with Nicki Minaj last month that came out.
All right, Miss Kim.
Feed the Beast, which is the upcoming debut album, or eagerly awaited debut album. I thought she had others.
I think she just has EPs, so this will be her first album. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense, because Lincoln's been talking about, and Peter about, but they are referencing probably EPs.
Yeah.
So the album Feed the Beast will be out on June 23rd. Perfect time for Pride. I'm excited for her, and she looks amazing. I'll post this on TAGSPodcast.com. What were your thoughts when you saw Kim Petras on the cover of Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition?
I love it. Kudos to her. Kudos to Miss Lena Bloom. I think it's high time that we start having more and diversified beauties on the cover of these magazines. And even Martha Stewart's on one of the covers as well. And she's, I think, 81. I don't want to age her. I think she is. Perfect. I got it right. Yes. So yeah, and she looks amazing as well. And they were talking about her on The View today or yesterday, and it was great. So I'm happy that they're putting more different types of bodies, different age groups, different everything. The gamut is on the swimsuit issue of Sports Illustrated, and I'm here for it. Thank you.
Because it was such a specific, they're such an iconic brand. It was such a specific, iconic cover to be a part of.
Oh yeah.
And to be able to get an 81-year-old, to be able to get transgender on there. We need this more from companies like Sports Illustrated and major companies to really, we gotta keep trying and, trying our best to change the narrative that's out there right now that, hey, you can be sexy.
That's right.
You don't have to just, I love the change of all this. It's amazing. So
yeah. Sexy just doesn't come in one package. It comes in many shapes and forms and diversity.
Well, staying on diversity, we wanted to talk about a gay couple that was featured on a billboard campaign. This was in the UK, promoting the joy of sex in later life. Mark and Andrew in the campaign from the non-profit British counseling service were on the cover. A long-term gay couple are among the models to feature on a taboo-busting advertising campaign. And it aims to highlight the fact that seniors benefit from sex and intimacy just as much as younger people. It was launched, like I said, in the UK at the end of April. It was put by the respected counseling charity Relate. The organization is well known across the country for providing counseling to couples facing relationship problems. It's Let's Talk, the Joy of Later Life Sex campaign featured on billboards for 2 weeks before moving to print and online spaces. And it featured a diverse range of older people enjoying moments of intimacy.
Wow.
And the campaign was shot by celebrated photographer Rankin, better known for his fashion work. So I think this is so amazing because we talk a lot about sex and people of a certain age, and I think we are in such an ageist population. So once again, we need more representation to show that yes, people are having sex at all ages. And
Yes.
there are sex therapists out there. There are people that can help you have great sex out there. So I'm living for this moment. On a related note, and here in America, ABC is going to be launching, you've heard of The Bachelor, which we were talking about on the other day. They're going to be launching The Golden Bachelor.
That's actually a good name, though.
I like it. It's going to be people of a certain age looking for love, and they're a major network. So like we were talking about Sports Illustrated, ABC, Bachelor's a huge franchise. I do think this will have an impact. Obviously, I don't think they're at the point where they're going to have LGBTQIA on the show yet, but at least they're pushing the boundaries of age in a major mainstream market. Of course, the UK with this brand, Sex and Later in Life, is promoting gay men, and I think that's really good. What are your thoughts when you see these campaigns and your thoughts?
I love it. We've been on this. We've been talking about this for such a long time. We always say that it's high time that the general populace starts understanding that sexual desire doesn't stop once you hit a certain age. That's why Uncle Cletus is in the old folks' home, bagging every girl in his block. And so he's doing a damn thing. So I know that at the end of the day, this is a beautiful representation of love and of sex and desire at a later age, and I'm here for it. So applause and kudos to them.
Yeah, it reminded me of, we are so open on this show talking about sex positivity and our own personal stories. I certainly share more than I probably should, but I'm here for it.
Me too.
And I feel more sexual and in charge of my sexuality than ever before, even in my 20s. And so sex actually can become more interesting, better, hotter as you age. And recently I was sharing with you in our meeting that I was with two guys separately. One was 29 and another one at another time was 32. These were recent stories. Both of them called me daddy. And my old response to it used to be like cringe, like, I don't want to be called that. I'm not ready for that. I think in their eyes, being that it's 20 plus years between myself and their age, I am a daddy in their eyes, but they were so into me. I was into them. And hey, listen, if you want to sleep with me and you want to call me daddy and I'm into you, call me daddy.
I'm here for it.
That's fine. No problem.
I love being called daddy. I mean, it gets my gears going for sure. So
yeah, really? You never had a moment where it made you feel Poppy, I love.
Yes.
Daddy took me a minute, but now I'm like, hey, if I'm going to sleep with somebody that's 20 years younger than me and they want to call me daddy, we're 20 years apart. Go ahead and call me daddy.
I think I look at it like, we are in this situation and you recognize that I'm in control. So maybe it's more of a control thing for me. That's why I like being called daddy. But I mean, maybe I should talk to my therapist about that.
Maybe, but I think you gotta hold on it. I think you're doing good. Well, it is time. I think I invited to the stage already.
It looks like you did.
I think I did, because you're not going to be here next week, and I'm
you get double dose now.
I know. So it's time to invite our special guest to the stage, and he just happens to be Kodi's boyfriend, Joe Lepore. So Joe, come to the stage right now. Here he is. Hi, how you doing, Joe?
Hi, thank you guys so much for having me.
Oh my God, we're so excited. Yes, we have a lot to cover in a very short period of time, but you're sticking around for the whole show, so I'm excited. All right, Joe Lepore, welcome to Tags Podcast. Kodi's boyfriend.
Hi, baby.
We will
Hi,
get
honey.
all to the nuts and bolts of your guys' relationship and play a game a little bit later. But we're so excited. You have a brand new book that's out right now, and it's called Son of a Cop. Obviously, you're the son and your dad. Thank you. There's the book cover. I love that cover.
Soft cover and hardcover.
Okay, we're going to tell everybody how to get it. It's obviously your relationship and your perspective of growing up with a dad that was a cop. Where did the inspiration come to write this?
So Son of a Cop is a book about growing up as a gay son and having a father who's a cop and a dad and having those two lives and both in which he lives by.
Okay. I love it. Well, can I do a follow-up question?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
I can't wait to get my hands on a copy and go through it because it looks like such a coffee table book. And I was reading some stuff online and you said you're more of a visual storyteller than, there's a story in there, but a lot of it's very visual, almost like a zine for people that know what zines are. Talk about, and I know you're an artist, how did that come about and to tell a story in this way?
Yeah, so a zine is like a fanzine, and it's a very visual book. I'm not so much of a writer as I try to be, but I am a visual artist, and I kind of treated each page as like a painting. I kind of went in and used like all the spreads, and I would integrate all the words. A lot of it is like collage, and I used gay culture and police history, current events, and a lot of old photography from when I was a kid and some even as an adult.
Oh,
nice.
That's wonderful. So, I'm going to take this from the perspective of the listener because I kind of know all the answers to these questions already. The only questions I want to ask him is who is making dinner tonight and can I get some ass a little later? No.
Hopefully yes and yes.
I know. But what was it like growing up gay in a household with a police officer? Can you kind of give us some experiences that you went through and tell us a little bit more about those?
So I first just want to say that I love my parents and I love my family and I love my friends. So that's kind of the root of how the book came about. It's very hard growing up with a dad who's a cop. I think I could relate to a lot of young kids right now, just scared to like not let your parents down. And for me, it was always to do the right thing. So it's kind of hard to like live in that truth. And it's just been a struggle to live in a lie. And that's who I really dedicated the book to.
Wow.
And on that same note, you wrote this whole book. Has he read it? What's his response?
No, my dad has not read it. My mom has read it a few times and she's cried to me and on the phone, as she is my best friend and love her to the moon and back is our saying to each other.
I thought you said that to me. Wait.
No.
What?
But I do love you to the moon and back.
I just want to follow up on that. So what was there something deep down that you said, I have to get this out of my chest. I have to put this on some sort of paper. And then what was the pivot point where I also want other people to hopefully relate to this?
Yeah. So thanks, Steve. That's a great question. I wrote this book during COVID, actually. And I really wanted to get it out to the world because I think that with all the police riots happening and everybody just looking down at cops, and even myself, I tend to kind of see where, they could be at fault. And I have a dad who's a cop. So I kind of feel that it was necessary to kind of get my word out as well, because it's important too.
I love that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I met his dad. His dad is great, but it's a systemic problem. So I just want to kind of add that in there. So that's just from my perspective. So yeah.
Yeah, my parents both grew up in Brooklyn. They're both New York Italian Catholic people, but they do live in Florida now, which is not the state that we should ever talk about on this.
No, we do.
We talk about it all the time, actually.
I know, yeah, actually.
Oh God, but yeah,
not in the most flattering light, but yeah, no, we do.
We love Florida, Miami. So what I am curious because we do have a Gays with Change Instagram that is so amazing and so beautiful. And what are some of your inspirations and your artistic influences for expressing your art into this world?
As far as Gays with Chains, I started last year, and I really just was trying to just get more gay art out of my brain. I really have a lot of influences as far as Tom of Finland and Kodi and I. We went to just go see Mugler together, and love. Oscar Yeho is a New York artist. And David LaChapelle, we also saw together. And but yeah, Gays with Chains is an Instagram handle that I kind of just use collage and do a lot of my art.
It's really cool because it's multimedia, it's using porn, you're piecing together scenes that are really hot, I think really hot. I mean, how do you go about putting these together? I mean, you're like, just give us a little bit on how you put some of this together.
Of course, yeah. So Gays with Chains is, I don't show any pornography at all. I should say it is porn without the parts. And I do it in a very sexual way for sure, and I want to do it so that I can share the art, but not so much get in trouble for it.
Right, we know about that on the show. So
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so both of those people can follow Guys with Chains on Instagram. That's the handle, correct?
Gays with Chains.
Gays with Chains. Sorry, Gays with Chains.
We're both Instagram. Gays with Chains right now. I don't know.
Yes, I should have worn mine today too. Exactly.
We should have put you in on what's going on. The memo.
Son of a Cop is available now, but where can people get it?
Son of a Cop you can purchase on sonofacop.com, and I have a link right there for the book.
Perfect.
And I also have the social handle as well.
Perfect. And then we'll list it on TAGSPodcast.com. It really is a great book. I think it's a great coffee table book as well, and a conversation starter that's so relevant now. So congratulations, Joe. I'm going to get my copy for sure. Hey guys, your buddy Stevie here, and I'm really excited to talk to you about Joy Mode. Recently, I was just in Puerto Vallarta, and I was getting together with a guy, and I wanted to be ready and hard. I didn't want to take one of those prescription medications that go through your bloodstream. I wanted something natural. Joy Mode worked so well with me, and I was so happy that it's naturally based. That's right. It's going to get you ready to go, but in a natural way. Joy Mode is here to save the day. You know, whether you're happy or unhappy with your performance in the bedroom, why not perform even better? Joy Mode's sexual performance booster is like a pre-workout, but for sex. The Sexual Performance Booster is designed to support erection quality and firmness and sex drive, and it contains clinically supported doses of arginine nitrate, L-citrulline, Panax ginseng, and vitamin C. It was created with the best-in-class scientists and biochemistry PhDs. After taking the Sexual Performance Booster, blood levels of arginine nitrate will increase, which will promote nitric oxide production, penile tissue relaxation, and increased drive. And I can speak from experience that this really worked for me. Meanwhile, the antioxidant action of vitamin C will protect nitric oxide from oxidative degradation, which enhances the blood flow promoting activity of nitric oxide. Collectively, these effects enhance sex drive and blood flow to the penis, resulting in better performance. And even as a bottom, I can tell you, most of my tops want me to be hard. This just makes everybody happy. I love Joy Mode. Joy Mode was created because the products on the market can be terrible. You know, the prescriptions come with all sorts of side effects. Over-the-counter gas station pills are sketchy and fraudulent, but lots of guys take both because they don't have a better option. All you got to do is take this with 6 to 8 ounces of water, just like your favorite electrolyte packet. For best use, consume Joy Mode anywhere from 45 minutes to 4 hours prior to your hot sex. You'll notice better blood flow, better erection quality and firmness, and increased sexual energy and drive. Want to spice things up in the bedroom and boost your sexual performance and do it naturally without nasty prescription drugs? Well, we have a special offer for the TAGS audience. Go to usejoymode.com/tags or enter TAGS, TAGS at checkout for 20% off your first order. That's usejoymode.com/tags for 20% off your first order. And you know what? Thank you, Joy Mode. Okay, we have got to talk to you about Kodi and all things Kodi related.
Should I leave though?
No, Kodi has told the story before on how you met, and we love the story on how you met during the pandemic. We love that you went for a walk in the park. But what can you tell us your version of how you guys met? And I mean, two and a half years later, you're living together.
Kodi?
No,
you
have heard Kodi's side, so
you've heard me.
But right before I met Kodi, I could actually say that like I was kind of trying to not really look for anybody, and I think that was really why I got to meet Kodi, because I was always just like finding the wrong person. And I think that as soon as I kind of stopped looking for somebody, I found my love. And both him and I met at where we work, a little brunch spot, and we sat in the corner.
Well, where do we meet before that?
I don't remember. Was I drunk?
No. How did we initially meet, Joe?
Online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Grindr was where we met before.
On Grindr, yeah. Everyone's always just like putting Grindr down and saying like, oh, but Kodi and I actually never even exchanged nudes, which was a surprise for all of my friends and all of Kodi's friends too. So
no, but this is what our audience wants to hear, because many of us are like struggling with all this. We were talking on the last episode, Grindr's coming out soon, or if it's not out already, a desktop version. So for people like me, that could be. Kodi's also mentioned in the past. Kodi's also mentioned in the past that, you know, he and I used to hang out with him. He was on the app a lot. Like he didn't. You could be at dinner with him. He was always. But you know what? It's not a critique. It's actually maybe that's the way you have to go about it. Were you also on the app relentlessly, and that's how you, or because this will help listeners?
I was on every app. As Kodi was saying the other day on the previous podcast, I was on Adam for Adam. I was on MySpace. I was on all of it. Man,
not MySpace.
I was gonna say MySpace to get a date.
Yes, I even used MySpace too.
I love it. Okay, so what I'm getting from both of you actually is you really have to be diligent about this and put it out there. But I do like that you didn't send nudes and still managed to meet. And I'm talking to a guy right now on a different app, Scruff, and we have yet to send each other nudes, and we're seeing how it. But was there sexual talk in the initial conversations that either of you can remember?
Joseph?
Yeah, I think that he wanted to be called Sir and Daddy from day one. So
That sounds like me. But yeah, I feel like we had some very sexual innuendo because I'm the type of person that if you are just on say friendly things to me, then and there's no sexual tension that's going on, then it's your friend zone very quickly. I say this is my new buddy and my new text buddy. But I feel like with me and Joe, we would talk about sex a lot. I would say you're very sexy. And we didn't exchange nudes, but I got some very hot,
Seductive.
seductive pics of him on the beach and things of that nature.
In a crop top. Joe loves
more like
a
in a
crop.
thong.
Are you in a crop top now, Joe?
I am. It's merch
Oh,
for
sure.
merch for Son of a Cop, and Cody's wearing some merch for. It says, "Lately I fuck strangers, dance all night, and wear leather."
Oh my gosh, so you're selling merch as well. So this is really good for us to
Yes.
know. Yeah, and it is a crop top, so we love it. You look great in it. We do have to ask you, since you met Kodi, I believe he's been doing this show. What are your thoughts? Do you listen? At first, were you like, I can't listen to this show because I don't know what they're talking about. I don't want to know what they're talking about. Or do you listen to some of the episodes? How did you approach this?
At first, I was kind of skeptical about it because it is him talking about gay sex all the time, and I kind of was just like, let me just step to the side about it. But you guys talk about such great content all the time, and everyone should be listening. And I listen to episodes here and there. I try to as much as I can and pop in here and there.
I love it. Perfect. Thank you. I love that. All right. Well, unless Kodi has another question, do you have something to drill him? Because I have a fun game that we're going to play. But Kodi,
I don't have any more questions.
you don't?
I'm good.
We'll filter in if any of our listeners do watching us virtually. But it's time to play. How well do you know your partner? Kodi and Joe are going to play along. I'm going to ask several questions, and they're going to post either Kodi or Joe on who is more likely to have this behavior. Are you guys ready to play?
I think I'm ready.
Okay. Let me get my questions
ready.
and let me move.
Absolutely ready.
Okay, good. All right. We'll start easy and then we'll move in. And
you gotta ease it in. You gotta sleep. Let me breathe a little.
Do not look at each other. Just put up Kodi or Joe on who's more likely in this situation. Starting out, number one. Who's more of a neat freak? Both of you said Joe. Okay. I love it.
Neat freak is Joe.
Is that true, Joe?
Absolutely, 100%.
See, I always find that would be hard for me too, because I'm neat, but I also can get a little messy. So I would have to
messy.
Clean up my act a little bit on that one.
Let me tell you, I take off my shorts when I'm going to bed. I sleep practically naked, and I leave them on the floor. He hates it.
I do the same thing. I mean, as long as you pick them up in the morning.
I don't pick them up in the morning.
Got it. Okay. Next question, and you sort of referenced this earlier, but who's the better cook? Kodi. Okay. I kind of knew this answer. Kodi's always stewing up some Puerto Rican stew or something.
Puerto Rican something.
I've gotten a lot better. But
he's better now.
I've gotten a lot better. But
what?
I'll tell you one thing. If I can sell an air fryer on this show, I would absolutely do so.
Do you guys air fry a lot?
Oh, we air fry a lot.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Who's more likely to suggest what to do for the night and plan it? Like if you guys are going out, and who's more likely to take the reins of the night?
Are you ready?
Yeah, just put it up.
Oh,
I totally thought it was going to be Joe.
No,
because truth be told, you guys, I know you, both of you,
yeah.
And I just assumed it was always Joe.
No, Joe is very indecisive.
I'm so indecisive. You have no idea.
I have to say to him, no, we are doing this because
I give him options.
Yeah, but
Wow.
I decide.
I like this. You guys are like in sync, so this is really good. All
I
right.
know we're doing so
They're
good.
gonna
Watch
get a
the
little
next
bit
one.
progressively harder. They're still okay. Who's the bigger gym bunny? Joe. Okay.
Kodi works
Got
out at
it.
home.
You work out at home, Kodi?
That sounds like a read. So at least I work out.
Okay.
Not a read.
I mean, he might be doing Jane Fonda, but at least he's doing something. All right. Who's more attached to their phone? Really, Joe?
100%.
Okay.
without a
Well,
doubt.
like I said before, when I used to hang out with Kodi, when he was trying to find a man, he found you, I guess. So he already did the deed. So now he
So I
doesn't need
can
to be
put
on
it
his
away,
phone. Yeah, you
right?
can put it away. So, okay, got it.
Except for to see if he's texting me. That's the only time that I have to look at it.
Okay,
At
well
one
then-
point, at one point, I needed to have something that kind of told me how many hours I was on it because it got dangerous.
They have that before
That
the
something
phone.
is
Well,
me.
Okay. Well, this one's a little bit more in relation to that. Who texts the other one more?
Yeah.
Joe texts Kodi more. You
Yeah.
both are in sync of that.
Yeah. I was making sure.
obnoxious.
Yeah. It's okay. I like it.
I like that. I was just talking to a friend of mine when I was in Mexico, and he said when they're away, the other one texts way more, like every movie's making practically, and the other one's like, "Stop texting me. I get it."
You know what? Really, sometimes, and I've told him about this, he calls more too. And it could be a text, and I'm like, you could have just text me that. I don't
Pick
need
up
to
the
talk.
phone.
I'm literally in the middle of a set. I don't have time to, because I do go to the gym. I don't know if you've seen these muscles right here.
When you're not doing Jane Fonda at home.
When I'm not doing Jane Fonda at home.
Okay, we're getting into a little bit more personal here.
Okay.
Who needs more attention?
Oh,
not on the same. So both of you said yourself, Kodi. You said you need more attention, and Joe, you think you need more attention. Oh, that's sweet though.
Isn't it different types of attention? I feel like so.
Joe, any response to that?
I would agree as well.
Okay, keep it simple. Okay, here we go. And I think I know the answer to this. Who's more likely to get jealous? If it's not, it better be a resounding Kodi, and it is. And Joe's putting it into
All right,
the
calm
camera. Joe's putting it in 3D.
He's trying to put it in the audience's lap.
I'm on the phone because I'm on the phone all the time. I'm on with Gays with Chains all the time now.
I won't
And
even follow Gays with Chains because
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't.
Too
You
jealous.
just say in our meeting you might now. So okay.
Can I say
Okay.
that?
These are fun. I know the answers. Who's a better singer?
Oh. No, don't you even
I'm
dare.
kidding.
I was gonna.
Joe has a
But
pretty good voice, though. I've been teaching him something.
Well, then you'll like this next one, Joe. Who's a better whistler?
Ooh, yeah, absolutely.
Little known fact about Joe is he's an amazing whistler of all things and really good. And so, yeah, I thought that was a lot of fun. Just a few more. They're going to get a little bit more trickier. Who's more romantic? Kodi.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
You even bought me the flowers. Are they in the
love
can you? I don't think we can
No.
see them. You can turn the computer though a little.
Turn the computer as you answer this next one.
I think I did a little
I
something
see 'em.
silly. That's why I bought the flowers, though.
Okay, now we're going to get into the fun ones. Who's more likely to initiate sex? Kodi.
Yeah.
And you both agree on that. Wow. Okay. I got it. I like that. Who's more likely to talk dirty during sex?
I don't. That's kind of that. I guess sure, but like,
Kodi?
that's not fair if you cover my mouth.
No, you cover my mouth. It should be who's the louder during sex.
Yeah.
Who's louder during sex?
You are, Kodi.
Yeah, exactly.
You are. Yeah, you're
Oh.
louder than
Oh,
but more
man.
vocal. I don't know.
Okay. Who's more? Did I already ask this? Who's more likely to talk dirty during sex? I
Yes.
said that one. Yeah, sorry. Who's more into risky sex? We talk about risky sex on the show, Joe, but like outdoor sex. Oh, he didn't even need me to finish that. Kodi. I'm learning more about you, Kodi, and I'm glad you're my co-host.
You know what? We host a gay sex podcast. If these are not
guess.
me, then I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Thank you. I love it.
Sometimes we'll be at a restaurant and he'll be like, "Want to go?" And I'm like, "No,
I love
birthday
it.
party."
Cheers, Kodi.
Cheers, boo.
Okay, last two. Who's hornier? Kodi. And lastly, who's more likely to climax first? Joe. Okay.
I know what I'm doing. Okay, let's just put it that way.
Congratulations.
I'm one and done. I am one.
You are
and done.
99.9% in sync, and
That's so
I bless this
wonderful.
relationship.
Thank
You'll
you.
get a Talk About Gay Sex pen. I'll send it to you. And a bottle of wine. All right, how's that? And drinks on me.
Perfect. Oh,
Okay.
no.
Drinks
we'll come
on
over.
me.
We'll
I love
bring
it.
a bottle, and you can cook. How about that?
Okay. Oh, all right. Well, I didn't say all that. But, all right. Well, Joe has agreed.
Charcuterie board.
I could do that. Joe has agreed to stay on board for a couple hot topics, and we're so excited that he's doing that. Starting with our first one, and which one, Kodi, did we say we were going to go with? The one
Olive Garden.
That one? Okay, yes. This is such an interesting. Gay Redditors recently defended a twink who got called a cheapskate for taking his date to Olive Garden. So you guys, when I first read this, I was like, Olive Garden? Like, are you kidding me? If somebody took me to Olive Garden, it'd be like, deal breaker. But when I read this story a little bit more, I had a little bit more compassion.
Context is key.
Yes, a 21-year-old who works at a restaurant chain owned by Darden Restaurants, also Olive Garden, and they own some other ones. The guy says that he gets a 25% discount. And he told fellow Redditors that he recently met a 23-year-old. So he's 21. He met a 23-year-old and asked him out. They agreed to meet for dinner, but the date asked the guy to foot the bill because he was low on money. The guy who works for Olive Garden agreed, and he suggested Olive Garden, right? If you're going to ask me to take you out.
Yeah.
The date went okay until they got the check, and he applied his employee discount. Quote, after we left, said the guy, texted me, calling me a cheapskate, and said he couldn't believe I took him to a restaurant where I could get a discount and didn't tell him beforehand. I told him that it's not as if Olive Garden is some obscure restaurant, and that, well, okay. And that if he wanted to dine elsewhere, I would have taken him there. But yeah, I might like to save a buck or two. Gay Twitter supported our guy here, and as do I. I mean, what? First of all, if you're cheap and you don't have any money, beggars can't be choosers, as I told you in the meeting, Kodi. How are you gonna call somebody a cheapskate when you're broke?
Yeah.
Let's just start with that. Joe, what were your thoughts when you heard this story?
First of all, I would not go to Olive Garden either. Same as you, Steve. But it does make sense because, when I was younger, are you kidding? Club Apple was the spot.
Who?
Are you talking about Applebee? Oh no.
Yeah, when I was 18, are you kidding me? Mozzarella sticks, boneless wings. You cannot beat that. But I mean, when I was younger, 21, are you kidding? Yeah, absolutely. That was the place to go to. So, I mean, props to him for at least getting the discount. And the other guy should have, obviously realized that he was going to have to pay.
Exactly. I mean, the whole point is I've been times in my life I had zero money to my name, and Olive Garden would have been expensive. So, but when I was 21, I met a guy that had a little bit more money, and he introduced me to San Franciscan restaurants, and I learned about cuisine, and it was lovely. I wasn't flipping the bill here, and but if I had to, it would have been McDonald's probably at that point. But thank God I got introduced to fine dining and he wanted to pay for it. I would have never complained like that bitch that we just read about.
Yeah.
I mean, Kodi, what can you believe that?
If you're not paying, you don't get to decide the parameters of the date. Number one, I happen to love Olive Garden. So I don't know what the both of y'all talk about. I will go by myself. If I'll take my mama if I have to, but I think Olive Garden is delicious. So I will go. If you want to come with me, then please join me. I will pay. I do think that
we're both shaking our heads like
that's fine.
Joe's Italian American, and I've been to Italy and had and not like I can go to a pizzeria in Rome and it'd be probably cheaper than Olive Garden. I am not going to Olive Garden.
I mean,
but that's okay. But
it's okay.
We're not this story, so
that's right. I do. When you were telling this story, I did remember that for our first date, I did take Joe to a place where I got a discount. I had worked at the place previously. I believe you know Poco, the brunch restaurant that he talked about earlier. I took him there because on a first date, you don't know what you're getting from. There's no type of there's no investment there. So I feel like you do what you have to do. If you have to leave early, if you have to, so I say take them for a first date wherever to the cheapest place that you can. So because you don't want to have to spend all that money on the first date. But on our second date, I spent a lot of money on Joe, just so everybody knows.
All right.
Because I knew I liked it.
Doug, watching us live virtually, says, how are you going to complain about a free meal? Exactly. Our thoughts as well. Okay, we also wanted you to weigh in. Team Great Britain, the divers, actual divers, are in the news right now. Some of Great Britain's top and most attractive divers, 3 of them, are planning an OnlyFans over the weekend. Not 1, not 2, but 3 Team Great Britain stars, and I'm talking about Maddie Lee, Daniel Goodfellow, and Matthew Dixon, announced they were starting accounts on the subscription-based platform. It's going to be about $20 a month. They aren't going to show everything. It's going to be suggestive in many ways. And they feel like they can interact more on OnlyFans with their fans. And a lot of us forget that, and it's probably going to be a little bit suggestive, which I think is really cool. I can relate to this a little bit and thinking of going this route. You know, OnlyFans wasn't always about porn. It was about people wanting to relate to their fans. This is what they want to do. You can offer extra special content and not get taken down like we have on our Instagram account, which is why I don't want to redo our Instagram account for the 3rd time and get it taken down again. This is very attractive to me, to do something that would give fans a little bit of extra content, maybe suggestive at times, and maybe make a little bit of a coin. Kodi, you mentioned our Patreon account, which everyone can go to, patreon.com/TAGSPodcast. You can support us and you do get special perks, but they have restrictions on suggestive content that I was telling you that you didn't even know about.
I didn't even know.
What are your thoughts, Joe, especially with somebody who has sex positivity in your content, gays with chains, on what these guys are doing?
I say get it. I mean, they're twinks. They'll make great money. So Austin Wolf will sign up tomorrow. So
I want to work with them.
They'll be just fine. But $20 is a bit much, but it's okay.
They're Olympians.
They are Olympians. They deserve it.
Yeah. Thank you, Kodi. Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking that too. You know, we were at your recent birthday brunch, Joe, which was fabulous, at Stella's, at Macy's. So much. Stella 34, so much fun. And 2 of your friends that are this adorable couple we're talking about potentially starting their own. Have you and Kodi ever nursed that idea about starting your own OnlyFans?
So we were going to try and send this video to our mom. So this we're not going to send this one. But yeah, we do. We kind of have this idea. Yeah, sure. We did have an idea, but I don't know if I'm going to go through with it. But I do have an idea for Kodi to do for himself, and then I kind of just
We
do
reworked
all
it.
the
That's
art
right.
direction and do all of the photo shoots for him. So
I
it's
mean,
still very
I just
intimate.
want to stay on you real quickly because you are such a creative artist and a visual artist, and I've seen your photography and I've seen your work. In an age right now where censorship is huge, particularly for sex positive artists in general on platforms like Instagram, I commend these guys for doing something like this where you can offer just a little bit more. You don't have to go the full route. You can if you want to, and we applaud those that do. But I think, why put yourself out there if it's only going to get taken down? OnlyFans currently will not take you down. So what are your thoughts on that?
The reason why I don't want to be on OnlyFans, is that really where I should kind of go with this question?
No, go ahead, answer honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that it's appropriate for me as an artist, because that's just not the stuff that I want to do, and especially with Gays with Chains, that I don't put out nudity. I don't want to put that out there.
It's a tricky, dicey area where you have to also think of the larger picture at times. And we've talked, Kodi, about people that do it where they don't show their faces.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a whole nother way of doing it too. I still feel in this country, in this world, we're in an interesting place where sex and sexuality and what you put out there is still judged. I mean,
even Janelle Monae was getting judged for being in a wet t-shirt in her video. Janet Jackson was getting judged back in the day for posing with the hands over her breast. Sexuality is deemed not as moral, not as desirable as being covered up and living your life in a chaste fashion. I think that that's completely ridiculous, honestly. I want to be a complete person. I want to live in my sexuality and not really deny myself from what makes me happy. So I think that them being on OnlyFans is completely appropriate. And I love my body. So as long as my mama is not seeing it, I'm good to go. So let's
love
do
your body
it
too, baby.
Thank you, baby.
Well, and lastly, Joe and Kodi, of course, we want you to weigh in on a recent Reddit thread. All they wrote on here was verse bottom. That's the one, Kodi, right? Verse bottom. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Verse bottom relationships is what they wrote in the initial title. Anyone who's been in a verse bottom relationship had a hard time. I'm pretty much a pure bottom, kind of manifested from unresolved gender identity issues, and I'm concerned I won't be able to fully satisfy a versatile partner in the way they want. I would still be happy to try if they want it, but it is a bit scary and uncomfortable for me. Would this be a deal breaker? Is it selfish to be primarily a bottom? Joe?
Thank you. Love this question. Take it from a bottom king. If you can't satisfy him, bitch, you're a bottom. So when I read this, I was like, so you're not verse. Like, just speak the truth. Just speak the truth.
And I'm going to speak my truth now. Is for the longest time, I was always a king bottom too. I'm relinquishing the title over to you now. But good joke. Because I think I was fronting a little bit. Or what's that term that people use these days? Kodi, I know you'll know it.
I have no idea.
Imposter syndrome?
Yes, that is such
imposter
a thing.
syndrome?
I don't think so. But I mean,
I want to use this term, but I don't know what I think it might be imposter syndrome, where I would put verse bottom on many of my apps, and I was mostly a bottom.
You're right. It is imposter syndrome.
Okay, yeah. However, I really do believe now that I am truly a verse bottom, because we were talking earlier on being called daddy, and I've really embraced topping. Recently, I was flipping with somebody. I really do consider myself a verse bottom today. I think I was imposter syndrome before because I thought it sounded better when I put that out there than just putting out their bottom. a lot of it had to do with the time. A lot of it had to do with the stigma. I think we're in a different period now where I love it, Joe. Yes, I should have just, had it been a different time, I could have claimed, yeah, I'm a king bottom as well. And then I would have given you the crown because I would have been the OG. And then we would have had a ceremony. We could have had a ceremony tonight, but I asked you to make cue cards, not a crown. So that's that.
Like the Lion King. I love it.
Kodi, what are your thoughts?
You own Simba. Everything the light touches Simba. Okay. I don't think it's selfish to be just the bottom. If you, like Joe said, living your truth. But I would like for this gentleman to also live in the options that are available to them in this relationship, because you can be a bottom and if your partner is a verse top, then I think that you can get a dildo and fuck him. Right. So you can open up the relationship. There's just so many options that are available to us as sex positive people. You can't limit your mind to one idea. You have to think outside the box.
And if you do want a dildo, you can go to our sponsor right now, get 25% off this month. Go to adamstoybox.com, get 25% off. Use our promo code TAGS25, but also take our survey. Go to TAGSPodcast.com. It will help us out so much if you take our survey, and you'll be entered to win 2 huge baskets of gifts for Pride. So I think that's really good. We want to thank our special guest, Joe Lepore. Thank you so much.
Thank you, baby.
Again, how can people follow you on Instagram?
On Instagram, it's Joe Lepore it's Joe Lepore _ art director, and also at Son of a Cop and Gays with Chains.
I love it. You can follow Kodi. He's a life coach at KMD Coaching, or at Mr. Maurice. Follow me. I am _Steve V. And you want to do our tagline with us, Joe?
Yeah.
In the meantime, continue having
hot
gay
sex.